I'm looking forward to getting old because it's not socially acceptable for me to be as grumpy as I am at my age. But in 20 years' time, look out, because I will be fully embracing the grumpy old man that is already inside of me and is desperately trying to get out. And honestly, the world needs more grumpy old men. Men who are past caring about anyone's feelings, not even their own. And they just say what needs to be said and do what needs to be done. And we all know that it's true. We all know that we need more grumpy old men. Otherwise, how do you explain the viral phenomenon of Gerry Noonan, who had this to say?
What does the future look like regarding electrification and battery electric vehicles in your mining operations, then?
Well, we have coal because we've got the biggest coal deposits in the world, but we're not allowed to burn the fucking stuff, so the world's rooted, really. It's all right to be idealistic, but you also have to be realistic.
And before you complain about the language, he's not swearing, he's speaking native Australian. We're going to get back to Gerry and also have a listen to Kerry for his classic and still hilarious verbal battle with the Australian government in just a minute. But first, my name is Topher Field. This is the Topher Project, and I help busy people like you to make sense of the nonsense that surrounds us. I am 100% viewer supported, so if you'd like to keep the Topher Project going and help me on my journey towards being the grumpiest of grumpy old men, then buy me a coffee via the button at topherfield.net, and also check out my books, DVDs, t-shirts and more at goodpeoplebreakbadlaws.com. Alright. This video of Gerry Noonan simply talking common sense and stating the obvious has gone massively viral, racking up millions of views in just a few days. But why? I'll play it for you in a minute, and I want you to ask yourself, what's he said that's truly so incredible that it deserves to be shared Australia-wide and indeed worldwide? And the answer is nothing. He's just said what's true. And it's a measure of just how twisted and dishonest our national conversation has become that some simple, raw honesty feels so foreign and refreshing. Let's watch.
What does the future look like regarding electrification and battery electric vehicles in your mining operations, then?
Well, we have coal because we've got the biggest coal deposits in the world, but we're not allowed to burn the fucking stuff, so the world's rooted, really. It's all right to be idealistic, but you also have to be realistic. And until the lights go out, the idiots that want to be green on everything and not do mining, not do coal, not do anything, they're going to have to go back and use candles and live in tents, and then they'll No, you might fucking laugh, but it's true. You understand what I'm talking about? I'm not talking bullshit, I'm talking reality. No. If we don't get realistic, we're fucked. It's as simple as that. We're not allowed to use uranium. We've got the biggest uranium deposits in the world in Australia. We're not allowed to mine the fucking stuff. So it's all fucked. So when half these cunts die, well, the world will be a better place, and then those of us that survive will get it going again.
Well, you just... That's an no.
My next door neighbour, I was talking to him, he's a lawyer, so he's not an idiot. Well, he is a fuckwit, but that's another problem. But he said, oh, that's right, you just put plugs along the highways. I said, but if you haven't got a fucking source from a power station, plugs on the highways aren't going to do jack shit, right? Do you understand me? The people don't understand. They think the electricity comes out of fucking space. But if you haven't got a charging system, which is a steam coal burning power station, how the fuck can you charge your batteries? Do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand.
Well, there's a lot of the cunts don't, and that's the problem with the world.
Thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of the visit.
Yeah. Well, enjoy it eventually.
Is he wrong? He's not wrong. But why is it so refreshing to hear such clarity and blunt honesty? Well, it's refreshing because we're so used to lies and mealy mouths politically correct nonsense from everyone else. With no disrespect to Gerry, this moment should have been completely unremarkable. We should all be this blunt, this honest, have this sort of clarity about the world around us all the time. And it says terrible things about what's happened to our country that this interview feels like a throwback to a bygone era. A time when Australians weren't cowed in fear of the politically correct and the woke. Actually, it feels like a throwback to 1991, when Kerry Packer fronted a Senate inquiry where the arrogant politicians thought that they were going to be able to make Kerry sweat, put him under pressure, make him justify his behaviour as a wealthy businessman who intentionally minimised his taxes. But Kerry was cut from a different cloth to our political class, and he was having none of it. If you haven't seen this before, grab yourself a beer and enjoy this quintessentially Australian moment from a truly great grumpy old man.
What the Four Corners program suggested was not that you were evading tax at all, that would have been libellous, but that you were minimising tax.
There's nothing wrong with minimising tax. I don't know anybody who doesn't minimise their tax.
And that you were doing so in ways that were contrary to the spirit of the law.
Oh. Well, I just got through telling you what I thought about that. And what you're saying is exactly what the Four Corners program says. I am not evading tax in any way, shape or form. Now, of course I am minimising my tax, and if anybody in this country doesn't minimise their tax, they want their heads ripped. Because as a government, I can tell you, you're not spending it that well that we should be donating extra.
Again, he's right. And if anything, the government today is even more wasteful, even more irresponsible with our money today than they were with his money back then. And we've just had the news that now 50% of all Australians are dependent on government money to make ends meet. Which is to say that the government has so buggered up the economy and the cost of living that half of all Australians can't get by without mooching directly off the other half. And the other half, the productive half? Well, we're getting sick of it. Lots of wealthy people are already leaving Australia, and plenty of other decent, hard-working Australians are actually just giving up and joining the parasite class, the mooching half. Either by getting onto welfare themselves or by getting into lazy government work like NDIS support workers. Because why bother trying to be productive and taking all the risks and making all the sacrifices when it's all just going to get taken off you? And then you'll be demonised if you dare to complain about the fact that it's all being taken off you. Just like Kerry Packer was dragged in front of a Senate inquiry for the sin of being wealthy and objecting to government-sanctioned theft and waste. There's just one example out of many. The guy that used to mow my lawns, fabulous, hard-working guy, good, honest, salt-of-the-earth Aussie, sold his lawn mowing business and became an NDIS support worker because he could make double the money for taking people shopping compared to what he was making, bringing his own equipment and working outdoors in the hot sun. And I don't blame him. The choice makes sense from where he's standing, but he's now joined the ranks of the 50% of Australians who are now an entrenched, entitled parasite class. This isn't sustainable. We can't go on like this, but people aren't going to recognise that we have a problem unless someone is willing to say the thing that's not supposed to be said, which is why we need more grumpy old men. That's why we loved what Gerry Noonan had to say, and that's why I'm looking forward to becoming a grumpy old man myself. Men like Gerry Noonan, men like Kerry Packer, these aren't throwbacks to the Australia of a bygone era. These grumpy old men hold the key to Australia's future. Say the thing. Say the thing that needs to be said and fuck everyone's feelings. I am sick and tired of my life and my children's future being damaged or indeed discarded for the sake of protecting the feelings of a precious few un-Australian snowflakes. So, what exactly is it that needs to be said? Well, I don't pretend to have a comprehensive list, but I'll start. Inflation is theft. Taxation is extortion. The disarming of law-abiding Australians is a human rights violation. Net zero is stupid and impossible. The welfare state needs to be abolished. The welcome to country and smoking ceremonies are pagan religious practices which have no place in our government. Politicians should get paid nothing in any year where they push us deeper into debt. Most of our problems are created by the government doing too much, and none of our problems are created by the government not doing enough. And the older I get, the more I realise that there really is no difference between organised crime and government. That's how grumpy I already am, and I'm only 43. I can't wait till I'm old enough to really get my grumpy on. What have I missed? Jump in the comments and tell me what else you think I should add to that list. My name's Topher Field, this is the Topher Project, and I help busy Australians to keep up with the world as it changes around us. My channel is growing fast. I've just clocked over 10 million lifetime views on YouTube, so thank you for all of the love to all of you. And I can't wait to see how many people I'm going to be able to piss off when I'm in my 60s and can finally unleash my true and final grumpy old man form. And you can help me to keep on growing and to keep on grumping by buying me a coffee via the button at topherfield.net. And be sure to check out my best-selling books about civil disobedience, titled Good People Break Bad Laws. Now, this is about government, where it gets its power, where we get our power, human rights, and the vital importance of civil disobedience in the modern age. Then there's Good Christians Break Bad Laws, all about the theology of civil disobedience, plus my documentary, Battleground Melbourne. If you want to know why I'm so grumpy, this will help to explain it. And of course, there's my t-shirts and hoodies in a range of different designs, from the funny, like history saying don't make me repeat myself, to the blunt, Good People Break Bad Laws. And there's lots more like this, Too Much 1984, Not Enough 1776 design. And there's too many more to mention, the rest of them as well. But you will find them all along with these books and DVD at goodpeoplebreakbadlaws.com. And whether you buy me a coffee or buy some merch, you'll be helping me to keep the Topher Project going and to continue on my journey towards being the most gloriously grumpy old curmudgeon that you ever did see. Thank you for watching to the end. The algorithm loves you and so do I. Please like, comment with whatever you think I should add to my list of things that need to be said. Subscribe to help me reach 100,000 subscribers. I'm very close. And as always, think free.